Hello everyone, I hope you are doing extremely well. Today we are going to develop a project that is all-in-one chart application. So here we are going to use all open source models like the recently released DeepSeek R1 model, LLaMA 8B, LLaMA 70p, Gemini and Mistral. And we also use the parameters like temperature, max tokens, top P and frequency penalty to generate a response based on our requirement, and also see these parameters, how these parameters affect the generated LLM response. And it is the project is completely UI response, so we can see here how it is, and we can also generate a response respective to the models. Check, ask the question, who are you? It will generate a response from DeepSeek, and I change the model to LLaMA 70p and ask, who are you? So this is the demo of our project, and we also see how to deploy this project and access through a URL. So let's dive into the coding. First of all, let's begin with completing all the requirements to develop this project. So first of all, we need to have a Groq API key. In this, Groq is a platform which helps us to access the large language models which are open source. In this, there are many open source models are there like DeepSeek, Gemma, LLaMA and Mistral, and many more are there. So we need to have a Groq API key, right? So for that, we need to go developers navigation bar and click on a free API key. There I have three API keys are there. I'm going to create one more API key, that is, it is simple to create. Let's say API key 1. I can create and copy this API key and copy and paste in here. Paste here. Next step is to create a virtual environment. The virtual environment is used to create and install all the required modules and libraries needed for this project. So to create a virtual environment, we need to follow some steps. So first of all, install all the like Miniconda or Anaconda and follow these commands. And then there is another way to create virtual environments, like simply using Python and doing all like following these all commands. Another way is also is there, like only following these commands. For now, I used this install Anaconda and followed these two commands, so activated the virtual environment. Now let's go to the text editor and activate the virtual environment. This is how it is activated. If it is activated, it will show here the virtual environment is activated, and install all the requirements.txt, the modules. So this is how they are installed. And the, the main importance of requirements.txt file is, so whenever you give your project to other persons, so they need to install, they are required to install all the files, right? All the modules and all the libraries. So if you are not providing requirements.txt, so they might face difficulties to install all the libraries and modules. So if you provide requirements.txt, so they can easily install all the required libraries and modules. So for that, in every project, the requirements.txt file is very important. So make sure whenever you create a Python project, try to create a requirements.txt and put all the files, all the modules which are used in the project. So for now, this is all about the requirements. Let's begin with coding part now. So first of all, create app.py file in the root folder, then import all the required libraries. Okay, so now load the environment variables and access the Groq API key. Groq API key. Now let's check is it working fine or not. For that we simply use st.title, load chatbot, save the file and run Streamlit run app dot. Now it is working fine. Our next step is to create the sidebar to the UI. So for that we simply start with st.sidebar, chatbot settings. If you see the same here, yeah, we got the sidebar. Now so we need to select a model, right? So for that I have already written that the model name and model value and model name and model description for each model like DeepSeek, LLaMA, 8 billion, 70B and Gemini Mistral. I'm going to copy paste this and paste. Here I'm going to select the model. Selected model equal to st dot select box of select model. In that I need to give list of model mapping dot keys and model name, model mapping of selected model. If you see here, you'll get in keys. Yeah, this is all like a DeepSeek, all the models came here. Let's add parameters. The first parameter is temperature. The temperature is used to add some creativity to the model. If we add like more temperature, the model is more creative. If we give less temperature value, it means that the model is less creative. So for that, st dot slider temperature of the minimum value is 0 and giving maximum value and current value is 0.7. And let's see how it looks. So this is how we can change the values like 0 and maximum is 1. And give some more parameters like max tokens. This will decide how many tokens the LLM model need to generate. The minimum value I'm giving 100 and maximum value is 4096. Current value is 1024. And top P is like adding a randomness to the model. If we give like maximum value means maximum random value. If we add minimum value, it means that less random value, like a randomness, adding randomness to the model. And final parameter is frequency penalty. It is like just let's say one paragraph is here. The how many number of words, like frequency of words, need to be there. So this parameter take care of that. So this is all about the parameters. We say no, save this file and refresh. So this is how it will show. And next one is to create a simple charts here. So before here we need to represent some charts, right? So before representing charts here, first of all we need to have like one messages to store the charts, right? So for that if messages are like messages key is not in st.state, like it is like session state. If it is not there in that, so try to create session state dot messages. In that there are two things are there. The role is assistant and the content is 5. I am all in one chart app. I use different AI models. You have selected model. So this is how we selected the model. This is fine. We only created the messages array, but we need to represent that messages in the UI, right? So for that we simply run a for loop, like for message in session state dot messages without c dot chart message of role dot markdown message content. We need to give like unsafe allow HTML is as true. So now let's save this one and let's check how it is looking. Yeah, it is showing good, right? It is looking good, right? Let's add the input field to the UI. For that, if the user prompt is equal to is like st.chart input, how can I help you? If the input is there, if in that case I need to add that user input to my messages. Append. Here my role is the role is user and content is user prompt. This is how I added that particular chart to the messages chart issue. Then
After that, I need to write that to the UI with st.chart message user st.markdown user prompt. Now it is fine. So when user enters a query, I store that query in user prompt and I displayed the particular message in the UI. Now it's time to call the LLM model with a query user prompt. Twice LLM equal to chart Groq. In that we have Groq API key equal to Groq API key. Then model name equal to model name. Then temperature equal to temperature. Then topic equal to topic, and frequency penalty equal to frequency penalty. Now our LLM is ready. It's time to create one document chain. The document chain helps us to chain the two components, the LLM and as well as the prompt template. For that we are using document chain equal to create stub document chain LLM and prompt template. So I'm using, now let's create the response equal to document chain dot invoke. Here the input is user prompt and model name is model name is like selected model, and model description is model descriptions dot selected model, and context is, this is how our response, the document chain is created, and if we invoke with a particular user prompt, so the response will generate. And I would like to write this, I would like to append this response to the chart history. For that, sc dot session state dot messages dot append role, which is the message is generated by system, and content is a response and response. Next one, after generating that, after adding a response to the messages, it's time to write the message to the UI. So with st.chart message of assistant st.markdown response and so if you use a try block, we need to use except, so that exception as the st.error generating response str of a. Now let's check out how it is actually working on. As you see here, we got a user input field. I can ask who are you. So I selected DeepSeek R1 model. So this is how it is generated. If you want to clear all the chart history, so for that we need to create a button. So let's create the button, that is st.button clear chart. The same thing you can write. It means that in the messages, the session state, we are removing all the history and we are adding the single message, that is this one. And we simply st.rerun. Let's check out how this button actually works. If I ask who are you, in that case it will generate a response. Then if I ask, let's say, write a simple Python program, and after asking some questions, we can simply clear the chart. So it will go. You can test around with the temperature, max tokens, top P and frequency penalty. This is all for this video. In the next video, we are try to deploy this project and we try to access this project with the help of URL. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.